Alright guys, working on the Yukon today, and I gave it a wash after work today, so it's all nice and shiny. It's much needed bath. Hasn't been washed. I parked it in December. That was the last time I drove it. Last time I drove it was pulling the green Jeep to go out on the trails, and then I just backed the trailer up to the fence and parked it and didn't mess with it because I was driving the Sonoma. And yeah, so it hasn't been cleaned or anything since before December. I don't know when the last time I actually cleaned it was. Probably around November was the last time I actually cleaned it. So it was way overdue for a bath. But what we're working on today is some LED stuff. You know that I mentioned in the other video when I put the JDMA stars in my cab lights that I had some corner lights coming that would be interesting and it might interest some people. Well, I got them. The only place I could find them was from AutoIllumination.com, and I only have one. No, I don't. This is what they look like. Oops. Looks fairly normal to you. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that though. Oh, nope. I don't know how my camera's going to like this. You might be able to see that dark chip, which is normal for these type of LEDs. But next to it, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but there is a longer chip that I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, but right next to it, about twice the size of that other one, there is a white chip. Well, I say a white chip. There's another chip in there, another LED chip. That doesn't help. But what these are is both a white and an amber LED. You might be wondering, there's only 2 pins when it's a 194 bulb or 194 style, 194, 168, yada yada yada. How do you get dual color out of a 2-wire bulb? Well, these are interesting. On positive 12 volts, they light up white. On negative 12 volts, they light up amber. And now you might be wondering, well, how does it get to negative 12 volts? Well, as some people might know, most corner lights, at least on older vehicles, I know the Yukon's this way, I know my Jeep's this way, I'm pretty sure the Sonoma's that way. That's why I got 6 bulbs. When you have it on and have your running lights on, 12 volts is going through your running lights and through this corner light. So it lights up white. If you turn your turn signal on with your running lights on, it's going to flash. It's only going to flash white, though, because it's positive 12 volts. Now, if you have your running lights off and you turn your turn signal on, some of you might know that if you have an LED, your corner light won't flash. And that is because normally people put the corner light on when they have their running light on. So, and with LEDs normally only being, positive 12 volts, polarity sensitive, it won't flash without your running lights on, because normally the reason the incandescent lights up with just the turn signal on and not your running lights on is because it's actually getting fed a negative signal. It's being fed the ground signal from your running lights through the bulb to a ground, which lights a normal incandescent bulb up, because the incandescent bulb doesn't matter which way the current's flowing. So the way these bulbs work is when it receives that negative current, which is basically just it's taking the grounding path and running it through the bulb, it lights up amber. So it's a switchback, is what it is. It's a white and amber switchback that on positive 12 volts, it's white. When it receives the negative 12 volts, the reverse current, it turns amber. And you might be wondering, I have these bulbs on here with the caps off and the lens off. The way this fits, it won't fit in these housings, and it won't fit in my Jeep housing. It'll fit in the Sonoma, though. The reason why is because this plastic projector, so it projects light out, which I don't need, and most people don't need. I mean, it's nice to have for certain applications, not this application. So I have these green bulbs, and even the JDM A-Star bulbs. This one's designed a little bit differently. The JDM A-Star ones don't have the aluminum on the outside or the aluminum cap on the top. These green lights, on the other hand, the way they're designed is exactly like these, except by having, besides having this cap glued on it, it has a flat cap glued on, which is one of these. Now I just took some pliers, took the needle nose, wrapped it around, gripped the aluminum on this side, and the aluminum on this side, and then took this, put it on the end, and just very light pressure, turned it, and it popped off. Same thing with this. Did the same thing, popped it off. So, if I wanted to, I mean, there's some extra glue in here I'll have to get off. It's not seating all the way on top of this. But, that's kind of a rough finish. I mean, it honestly doesn't bother me too much. But, if you wanted to make that a better finish, if it's going to focus right, it is a rough finish. But again, it's not too bad. It's not going to hurt anything. There's no electrical connection going through this little cap. But you can put this cap back on, but you might see right there, there is a bunch of glue, and I tried to scrape it up with my pocket screwdriver, and I'll have to get like a dremel or something if I want to do that. And then I'd have to glue that cap back on. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not, at least right now. I'm fine with it just being open like that, because, I mean, it's cosmetic. And, I mean, you can see the JDM A-Star, all they did is to take a black piece of, it's not paper, but a piece of, I guess, it is like a decal type material, and folded it around the outside and then folded it over the top. That's all they did to hide their circuitry. But I can show you what it looks like. I don't know if I'm plugging it in the right way or not. But, oops. Now, turn the running lights on. And I do have it plugged in the right way. As you can see, it's white. And these are also on too. Those are all on. It's white. Now, if I turn the turn signal on, I'll just turn the flashes on. I don't have my key in ignition. As you see right now, it's flashing white. It's just flashing white because it's still receiving that positive current. If you put a normal LED in here, this is the way it's going to act. If you have your running lights on, it's going to flash with your turn signal. That's the way the circuitry in the truck is designed. Now, you turn your running lights off like you would during the daytime. Now, it's still flashing, and it's flashing orange, because it's receiving a reverse signal from the vehicle, it's grounding out through the bulb and going back to make it light up. Normally, if you had a normal LED, like one of these, like what I used to have in here, it would not be flashing if you didn't have your running lights on. That's just the way most automakers in this era did their corner lights. They just said, well, it's an incandescent bulb, it'll light up with either direction of current, so with your running lights on, let's make it light up, and then when you turn something on, it's going to flash, because it's receiving all positive current. But with their running lights off, let's have it just do a reverse flow, so it still lights up. Well, when you go to LED, it doesn't work that way. So, these are the bulbs that I got. They were about $10 a piece, $9.99. So, these will give me another LED up front that is also a switchback. Yes, with my running lights on, it will flash white. So, it's not a true switchback in the fact that your running lights are on, it's white, and your turn signal's on, it's going to be amber every time. You cannot do that with a 2-wire. You would have to do a 3-wire, and they don't make 3-wire, you know, in this small of a configuration. But it is still a switchback. It's still considered a switchback. It's just a positive and negative 12-volt version of a switchback. So I'm going to end this here, get these on. I might put the ones on in my Jeep, and then I'll do I'll come back later tonight and do a night shot. But for these trucks, and at least for the Jeeps, if you get these, you have to take this cap off. There's no way it will fit in here. It's close. It's really close. It gets to about right here, and it will not go anymore. If you try to force it, you're going to pop the lens off, like this one fell off. But that just fell off because of crappy glue. Yep. eBay light setup. I mean, it's aftermarket. What do you expect? So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get these on, get these wired up, and probably put the ones in my Jeep. I'm not going to mess with the ones in the Sonoma, because I'm redoing the whole front end of the Sonoma. I got a whole bunch of parts. I'm missing a can of paint. I ordered a new can of paint, and it's probably not going to come until next week. And I need to order another can because it's not going to be enough for all the stuff I'm going to paint. But, yeah, that's it for now. It's going to be later tonight when I come back out. But for y'all, it's going to be instantly. So, yeah. I'll be back in... It's 4 o'clock now. I'll be back in about 3 or 4 hours. Alrighty. Alrighty. And it's dark now. It is about 5 hours later. What was it, like 4 o'clock or so? It's almost 8 o'clock. And I did a short video on the 91 Jeep, the Trail Jeep. That the video is going to be up before this one, because I already have this one rendering right now. I will say, when I picked up the camera to do the walk around or whatever, and started talking on the video for the 91, it got all grainy. I don't know what causes this camera to do it, but it seems like heavy light change, or it must have been rapid movement, because when I picked it up, it moved a lot, and then it got grainy afterwards, but it kind of smoothed out in some places and not. Anyway, it's probably, I don't know, but it doesn't seem to affect the video too much. I mean, it's grainy, so it's not clear. But back to this video, which is about these AutoIllumination.com corner lights. And I already unlocked it, so I don't know if it's actually going to do it again. No. So. So much better with the LEDs. But, as you see, they're white. So, I'll just basically go through. I turned on my headlights. There they are, running with the running lights on. And I can turn the turn signal on now. This should flash white. Oh, key's not in, so flashers. This should flash white, which it is. And if you remember what I was saying earlier, it's flashing white because it's actually getting a positive voltage. Because the running light's on, it's getting a positive voltage. It's not getting a negative voltage. So besides it alternating, it's getting a positive voltage. So, LEDs look so much better. I'm probably going to order all of my switchbacks tonight. For all of my vehicles, except my green Jeep. I don't plan on doing anything with that anytime soon. But I need to order the switchbacks for the Sonoma, and I need to order switchbacks for this. Probably going to wait on the mirrors. But yeah, turn off the lights. Now turn the turn signals on. And they're flashing amber. So, yeah. And they're flashing amber because it's getting a reverse current coming from these bulbs. Coming from the lighting circuit, it's getting a reverse current that's running through the bulbs to a ground. So it is actually getting negative 12 volts, even though, you know, even though it is going to ground, it is getting negative 12 volts. Because that's basically what a ground is negative 12 volts. If you want to very, very simplify it. But, yeah. So that's what it looks like during the day when you just turn your turn signal on. That's what it's going to look like. When you turn your running lights on, and then do it, you know, it flashes white. It alternates white because it's actually getting a positive current, not a negative current. But, yeah. So, there it is. I'm definitely happy with them. I mean, yeah, I had to disassemble the dome on the top, but you don't need that dome. That dome is, I mean, all the dome would do, I mean, they're already bright as it is. They're really bright. If I had to compare them, they're probably as bright as the JDMA stars when you take off the smoke cover. That's how bright they are. Like, I mean, I could put something right here and work on it. I mean, even taking my GMC emblem, that's still a lot of light right here that's just from that LED. But what the dome would have done is these two lights, it's so bright I can't even look at it. These two LEDs in the front, if I remember right, I think they're 5630s. Whatever, it's the chip size. What it would do is these two in the front, it would project it outwards like a projector. Like my old LEDs I had in here had a dome on the front, and that helped immensely in daylight seeing the bulbs, and I mean even helped at night, because what it did is it channeled a column. Basically the same thing a projector does. It channeled the light out in a specific location where it was easy to see. But for a corner light, it's not as important to be able to see the corner light. I mean, if somebody's to the side, yeah. But what they would have done is created a focus of light right here in the center and shined it out. Meaning where if you were right here, it would be even brighter. It would be a little bit brighter than it is now. It would just be focused on one little location. But it's still bright enough for me. I got practically all the lights I want now. So far, I need to order another set of, well, running lights and corner lights. I need to order this another whole set, because I'm not going to modify those housings with what I plan to do with the switchbacks. But yeah, so that's the Auto Illumination 194 switchbacks. Now, they have, you know, a disclaimer on their website about, you know, these don't work on every vehicle. You usually need relays, but they do work on some vehicles. Basically, what they're saying is a lot of older, at least domestic vehicles, this is the type of system that they use, that it alternates and stuff, like I just showed you with the lights on and lights off, that it has a different function. A lot of newer vehicles don't work that way. So if you put an LED in there, it will flash, you know, whether you have the lights on or off. That's just the way those are designed. So you wouldn't get a switchback in that circuit, and that's why you're saying you have to use relays and blah, 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 blah. If I wanted to make this truly always flash amber, even with these lights on, if I wanted these to flash amber when I did a turn signal, I would have to use a relay. But I'm not immensely worried about it. Yeah, when I get the switchbacks in here, these are going to flash amber, and I'm going to have a white flashing on the side. That doesn't bother me too much. You know, maybe I get a wild hair down the road and do it, but maybe not. But my battery light's flashing, but that's it. That's all I pretty much wanted to explain. I basically rambled again, but yeah, so I'll talk to y'all later at some point. The next video is probably going to be modifying parts for the Sonoma. I'm just waiting on paint, basically. Waiting on paints and waiting on me to order the switchbacks, because I got the switchbacks. But I can pretty much already do the headlights. I pretty much have everything I'm going to do. I don't think I'm going to put halos in them. I might, but I might not. Probably not. So if I do them, yeah, I'm probably not. Anyway, rambling again. Talk to y'all later.